Hey, hello again, fellas. This run is going to be a sub 55 example run with chin chompers. It's going to be anywhere from 50 to 55 minutes, depending on how much I AFK and whatnot. And I'm using my standard setup that I use nowadays for sub 50 runs. So, all in all, it should be pretty close to how I normally play, with the exception of maybe slowing down on a couple of waves. For those wondering, this is the full setup. I'm still a big fan of devout boots if you ever want the prayer bonus. And when using chins, I do feel like 5 brews is the bare minimum. I've been using 4 for a lot of my runs, but I also used 1 piece Ancestral for quite a while now, and I've dropped that finally, so I'm in the no Ancestral gang after nearly a year of doing Inferno speeds. No Ancestral is just better if you like it or can handle it. And if you do start using chins, then I strongly recommend trying to learn like this. So we'll do our normal pre-pop, and of course I have my my 3 sanfews over near the entrance. As always, I'm running the 1 stem and 1 ranging potion instead of a bastion pot, because I still to this day get mixed up with the colors, and I like to click my regular bastion trying to use a divine, and that's not great. So a couple of quick checks, which is something I always like to do, and we'll get started. I will almost certainly have the ability to talk taken away from me as soon as things get remotely interesting, but that's kind of just how it goes with these runs, especially when you're concentrating a bit more. But will be commentary where possible and in between waves. The most important thing with this is to showcase good chin usage and also trying to sort of stretch time. I'll also be doing all the good stuff like phantom barraging, killing blobs first and that kind of stuff, so this is a bit of a step up from the sub 60 resource. After 1 chin, we're going to go and kill the wave. Very, very important not to overuse chins. And for all of these early waves, I'll be starting nice and up close. Please die. Well, that's an awful wave. When using chins, you want to make sure that you barrage the double nibber clumps. Okay, good. It's just better, not to mention it stops their movement. And we want to kill those guys after the blobs. It's worth losing a tick here to get in position. Cool. And I'm actually going to re-range pot, because my range level is really, really low. Okay, I really did not want that blob to survive there. That, sorry, that nibbler on the other side. That would have been very bad indeed. Anytime there's a nibbler on that side, you lose a lot of time trying to get to it. So it's best to take it out where possible. Let's chuck another chin over there. I'm gonna take out this 1 bet over here to stop myself getting drained, and keep this one alive so I can kill the blob first. There we go. And that gives me the time in between the blob death to use up effectively. I think it's like 4 ticks or something crazy that you have. Gonna leave those nibblers alive while I take out the first of these blobs. Gonna transition to the next one as well. Gonna drag all of these guys together since it's 2 melees that can walk around. Okay. Yeah, not great. And we have another double nibbler wave here, so we're going to be barraging. Ideally, you want to ice. Ideally, you want to be ice barraging those to stop their movement again, and this prevents the drag animation on death, which is not great. But it's not the biggest deal. Right, we one-shot those. If we didn't one-shot those, I could drag this guy over, and using his southwest tile, I could chin them together. A big important thing with melees is that their death animation is insanely long, so you want to make sure to kill them last where possible. So like here, I'm going to move across to the melee, and I'm actually going to dodge behind the melee, keeping this bat alive. Once the melee is dead, I can now focus the bat. And even though I'm killing the bat so much later, it still dies relatively close to the melee, which is how bad it is for the melee to be alive. Okay, we're doing one chin, we're going to solve the wave. I want to get another chin on those guys pretty quickly. Okay, and now I want to keep the melee alive. Or keep the bat alive, rather. Just trying to maneuver our way back around, get a blowpipe spec in. And yep, it's worth doing this. My range level is quite low again, I've taken some pretty unlucky hits from the bats, so... I don't want to repot immediately, but... after the next wave I'll probably have a think about it. So, blob and melees, we got some chin opportunities here. Gonna throw another one because the first one was so bad. Last one alive is fine. Getting a hit on the melee there to drag it a bit closer. One more hit and then we'll chin. Okay. Not the best time there, I lost a bit of time here going for these guys, but I knew there was one alive, and if the melee is dying then it's not too bad. For another chin. That'll chin with the melee. Good. Let's dodge around the pillar. And I do actually want to kill... Okay, I got a nibbler alive, so I can kill that. So look at the death timing here between these two guys. He still dies last. Especially since he was dragged. Shouldn't have chinned that, but it's fine. Gonna blowpipe spec the blob. And make my way around so I can attack on the intermission. Pre-move for the melee. And my range level is 102, so I will definitely be repotting now, because that's kind of awful. I'll also use a standos. Yeah, it's really unlucky. I'm gonna play it safe and just kill this melee on North Pillar. And I'll get a T-bow hit when I move across. Okay, that's dead. We're gonna go on the other one, and then chin here. Notice how I chose to go for that guy first. Because the bloblets would be in a better position for me. Whereas these guys, if I had attacked this and move over there, that would mean that the melee is dragged badly. And the last thing I want is for the melee to drag badly, because then they're not together. Double melee. Okay, unfortunately can't do anything with those nibblers. Gonna move towards this guy, so they're both attacking me. And that way I know neither of them are gonna dig randomly. And our time into wave 17, which is the double ranges, or the double, or nibbler I guess. We're tied into wave 18, rather, is gonna be around 6 minutes and 30 seconds, which is a good pace. So barrage these for some HP. Tried to get the Phantom, didn't quite get it. No biggie. HP is fine right now. And we are, yeah, around 6:30 here. Gonna blowpipe spec, never lucky. Alright, and now we're pretty comfy for a couple of waves. So this is nothing too special right now. One thing I don't want to be doing is overusing Phantoms. Phantoms are like... they can be pretty detrimental if you're not careful with them. That's a bad movement there, I should have come across a bit. How many alive? Still 2. Anytime that's 2 or more, I'll chin. Safe spot the bat and take it out. Notice I'm barely flicking my prayer. I have a lot of sanfew. If anything, I'm more cautious about my run right now. Going after that nibbler, we can't let him be alive. Okay, good. No ticks last. And yeah, I definitely overused Phantoms when I started doing speedruns, just because they're fun to do and it gives you HP, but they're not that useful. And you end up losing time a lot of the time. We're going to try and drag the melee, if it stays alive here. It does, lovely. Ooh, that was an extremely bad movement. Normally I drag this guy over and chin him on the southwest tile. But I kind of messed up. More sanfew. Okay, we got the melee again. And we will this time drag him over. I don't mind being in melee range here, that's completely fine. The ranger really doesn't hit very hard. I moved away from that bat there so I could have a little bit more time before getting hit. That was to drag the ranger over. Yeah, that blowbite spec probably not the best idea. Specking is a bit slower than actually attacking normally. The travel time is a bit longer, so I lost a tick there technically, but hey. Wanted some HP. Left that nibbler till last, so we can chin here. Gotta chin the green one due to the drag tile. And I'll probably dodge around the pillar here in a second. This drags the ranger closer. Even if I'm not attacking anything while the blob dies. I'm gaining time because I don't have to run towards this guy later. There's a couple of ways to approach that wave, but that was probably the second best way. Best way would have been to come back here, kill this guy, attack ranger, then re-drag, but yeah. There's always better ways. There's always better ways. Watching my timer there. Probably better to blowpipe from that distance instead of throw the chin, but I wanted to get away from that melee as well. When you're playing aggressively like this, you have to be comfortable with your HP, and right now, 35 is fine. If we were on blob waves, maybe less so. We can drag everything round for one hit. Throw the chin. That's a good chin. I get pulled in as I do that. That's the kind of distance you want to be chinning from, somewhere around here. Because of course, a 3-tick blowpipe is still going to be better than a chin. Ooh, good hits. We're going to play with this melee and drag him around. Let's start moving diagonally. Okay, not quite dead. We'll be careful here. Click the melee just in case, and back around. Round on the G is getting low, I've got 2 more doses left to burn. I like to save 1 for Zuck, although it's not technically necessary. But we're getting into blob waves here, so we'll top up and we'll barrage for HP. Okay. We'll let this blob settle in, and then we'll take out the nibbler and move around a bit. Alternatively, we could do something like this, where we bring Mage around the corner and come back round. Anything works. Oh, okay, timing bad, that's fine though. I really want to kill the blob here. Took a little bit of a risk to make that happen. In my opinion, it's worth it. That's a bit of an overuse on chins. Generally better to not do that, and we're going to barrage again. Meet the bat. Keep 2-tick flicking, kill the bat. And then kill the melee. I'm off tick, so I'm going to wait here for a second. And just flick normal blob stuff. And then we're going to send a T-bow hit. Got the chin off there. That'll kill the remainder. And I could actually pipe this guy again on the southwest corner, but I didn't think about it fast enough. Gonna have a look at monitoring my run energy. A lot of this kind of thing is just about monitoring your HPs and stuff and making sure that you're okay and everything. the wave solves at this stage, you should be able to sort of just automatically do them. Might get dragged around here, just being careful of it. Nope, we're fine. I want to kill the blob first, so I'm going to dodge around here. And we can take out the bat in a second. A sneaky hit on the major, on the ranger. Let's shin the better NPC. Good. Bit slow on the kill there, but that's fine again. And we got HP climbing because we had a good blowpipe spec, I think, or a good barrage anyway. Dodge around, flick just in case. We're going to stay on this corner tile instead of moving over here. This allows things to drag in a bit nicer, and lets us to go around the corner a bit easier. And I'll just prey range take a melee hit from this guy if I have to, no problem. Anytime now. I'm gonna chin this to kill the melee. Yeah. Bit impromptu there. If I stand back here, that'll drag in. Oh, I actually shouldn't have done that. That was a bit silly. I was hoping to chin the entire stack there. That was a bad call. That's probably also a bad call. Eee! Okay, mistakes were made, no problem though. Back to barraging for some HP. Great. We'll let that dragon. And of course, we should be in drag distance here, so this is fine. Time is looking half decent. We'll chin this. Hey, HP's good. So what I really want to do is to drag that guy around, but isn't going to be the easiest thing. We're going to get as close as we can, and we're going to turn off run to drag back the maximum distance. We're going to lose a tick because we suck, and then go. Yeah, not great. The time going into majors, you want to be around sub 16 for a really nice run. This will be kind of close, probably not as close as I would like, but that's partially because I'm talking a bit too much. And plenty of time to heal coming up, so we're going to do a barrage, an ice barrage this time. Never lucky. And these guys are separate, so we'll check how many there are, and then we'll send a phantom on that guy. Yeah, a little bit past 16. Not terrible, not like great though. One shin, that's kind of unlucky, and then we'll send a T-bow hit. Good, dead. Enough run. And we're going to go nice and close. This is to prevent the arrow travel time. If you've seen the sub 60 resource, then you'll know why. And we would have finished with a blowpipe, but he's dead. One more chin. Gonna back away from the bat. I do that quite a lot where I back away from bats in order to get them so they don't get 2 hits on me when I go and kill them, if I one-shot them. It's a nice little habit to have. Would have been better to blowpipe that, but it worked out. We'll send a chin on that again. That bat will get to me no matter what I do, so I'm just going to try and get the timing. Oh, okay, very bad. And we'll blow up the major to finish here. Anytime it's around 50 HP or less, it's better to blow pipe. Okay, blob wave. I like to chin these, you don't have to, depending on your HP. Lost the tick. Gonna go as far away as I can, get close to the blob. Any time now? He's dead. Good. I know you should be killing the blobs and then targeting something else, but in the case of mages, you kind of just have to kill the major first. There's not much you can do about it. Otherwise the respawn can happen instantaneously and that's disaster. Of course. Not the best wave again. Got a little bit unlucky. And we're going to barrage for HP now. Normally I'd prioritize the bat, but there were yeah, normally I'd prioritize the bat, but there were literally 3 nibbles on the pillar, so I figured that was probably a better one to chin for the time being. We are still going to chin this, even at this HP. This is fine. And I've got a mental note of what's coming up next in terms of waves, and it is of course 2 blobs, which is very free. Oh no. Let's eat brute! Timing was bad there. Not my proudest wave solve. Kind of messed up a bit there. But next few waves should be free. And a nice chin to top it off. Oh, melee. Yeah, we lost a couple of seconds there. Nothing too crazy. This spawn is really nice because that melee is trapped by default. Much less to think about. But of course, we don't want to make the mistake of ignoring him. We want to go into melee range. Also, if you hit a low number when it's on like 1 HP, never stop flicking. Because half the time you're going to get baited thinking it's dead and your blowpipe will have hit 3 ones in a row. Not cool. So, if in doubt, keep flicking. If you can do. Good barrage, we're going to come all the way back. That bat will drag in before the melee, which means we can go to the safe spot directly. If it was a bit more to the right of the melee, then I'd have to move inwards a little bit to make sure they all drag together. But that's fine. And if the melee digs, I'm in a control position, so all is well. I do not want to let that melee dig though. It probably is going to. Okay, got there just in time. Worth taking the bat hit to make it happen as well, because that was right on the limit. No lucky phantom. And we're back to doing some barrage HP stuff. Gonna come around to safe spot the bats. That melee can't get through, and I get the ability to chin the bat, which hits the nibblers. Like that. This is a really nice little safe spot for chinning stuff. You can engage in the same way from the south pillar if you have to run over there to attack stuff in the southwest corner. You can stand on the safe spot, and then attacking bats or anything on that will actually hit the safe spot. Well, I should have seen that one coming. I'm going to go back to my safe spot, albeit temporarily. There we go. If I was thinking about it, I probably should have killed the bats last again because the melee time takes so long. We have a blob now in the mix, so just flicking range immediately like that for the 2-tick is really nice. And this is a free wave solve. We don't want to let the melee dig, of course, but yeah. We'll go and deal with that in a second. I want to kill the blob first, though. There we go. Got some in-between time. Ooh. And a little phantom. 85 HP, I'm pretty happy with it. You could blood barrage, depends on your pillar HP and stuff. But I'm not going to. We'll kill the bat, wait for the major for a second. Nice 2-tick. The melee can't through that gap. Oh, yes he can. By that I meant he couldn't fit through the other one, I guess, but that works too. Moved into the melee so I can chin them together. Wasn't really the best order. Brain trying to think about words instead of actually the wave. Still 85 HP, we can just dodge back here. I'm not going to take out that other bat, it's not a problem. And now it is. That was just to trap the melee. I probably could have run all the way back around, but I didn't really feel like doing that. It's kind of a long maneuver. This is more simple. This is a bit easier. I lost a tick doing it because I didn't wait. And in reality, it would have been a little bit better to take a... It would have been a little bit better to take a hit there, actually, but... Yeah. We can chin this melee. If it doesn't die first. It died first. Okay. Brain's always thinking about chins these days and how to make the most out of them. Below 80 HP, time to blood barrage. Keep the 2-tick going. Set up the melee safe spot. And we're good. This is going to die before the melee digs. I'm going to go to the back of this blob and chin the melee together, if I can move. And we'll finish with the pipe. Could have done some nicer flicking there, it's not really a big deal though. And we have a double melee, so barrage. We're going to go around the pillar to draw that major in. We're not going to kill these guys. And I'm going to wait here for a second. One more hit. Okay, we got these guys over here. I'm going to wait for them to clump up, so I have to chin instead of blowpipe them separately. And I'll get ready to move across and flick melees as well. Time is like pretty average again. So we'll go in a second here. Got them both. I would have liked to blowpipe the major there, but the T-bow did the job, so no problem. Yeah, time's not bad. I'm probably going to end up saving the blowpipe spec that I have remaining. Try and get a heal here. I think I did heal like one. And now we're on to Ranger, so we want to start back here. Our blood barrage for HP, my pillar's looking good. Free wave. We can chill. Cool, so 27:30 is like on pace for a sub 50 or around then, so this is a really nice pace. Heck, all I know, for all I know, talking's actually helping me organize the waves a little bit better than usual. I don't really know. I'm just clicking stuff. Okay. Probably should have switched the blowpipe there. I wasn't entirely sure if that was actually dead or not. The better thing to do in this scenario is to start off-ticking early, and that way I don't have to worry about when I come out to off-tick, I can just attack So that's the kind of thing that will end up saving 20-30 seconds over the course of a whole run. Bat's gotta die. Bat's always gotta die. You could do some shenanigans where you come back around the side of the major and stuff. It's just not worth it. It's just about kill it. That's blowpipe ball. So here, I want to go and off-tick immediately. Or I can do this. But I need to start engaging the ranger ASAP, because this is a more controlled position. Okay, back we go. High HP, we're gonna Ice Barrage. And we're gonna deal some damage to the ranger for a little bit here. This is probably better. One more hit to the ranger. Cool. Didn't kill the ranger, keeping him alive. I'm just gonna toss a chin at that. I'm not really too fussed if I toss a chin or I go and blowpipe it. Blowpiping makes things a bit more complicated, so let's not do that. Alright, 40 HP major, and on this side I can dodge around easily. Wanna come around for the bat? Because the bat's not accessible from that side. I lost a tick doing that, could have been earlier on it. It is what it is. Gonna wait for that to clump up a little bit. I missed the timing and it was a really bad split wave. So I'd rather lose another 1 or 2 ticks anyway, to ensure a really good quality barrage instead of like hitting just one of them. That would have sucked badly. Another little thing to note during these runs is that I'm not letting my range level, especially on majors, go anywhere below 109. Blowpipe spec here, got full spec. Moving in one for the chin. And then I want to target, of course, the ranger, sorry, the melee or the major. The guys with the lowest range defense. Oh, wrong way. Come on, buddy. High HP still, because good spec. Gonna track him round for a second, and now we're in position. That ranger's gonna come down here, which is fine. I can start flicking it early. And of course this is a safe spot. So one more hit and I'll start flicking. One more hit from him. Any time now? Should really be blowpiping. That's better. Gonna kill the blob first. Yeah, it's not really what I wanted to do. Again, not the greatest wave. Still high HP though. Keep the 2-tick going. Drag that back in. Gotta move to this style to make that happen. That pillar doesn't matter. And let's get an off-tick going on early. Like this. Okay. One more chin, because these are really bad chins. One more chin! And we're gonna save that blowpipe spec, even though it's at 100. Just to stay a little bit safer. This is kind of meant to be a sub 55 run, but it's probably gonna be closer to 50 at this rate. This is great wave. So we can, in one more hit, come out here. Trying not to lose ticks. No rush on the nibbler. Killer's good. And that's why you never stop clicking, just in case. Okay, we'll take out the nibbler now. And our first blob. Got a nice safe spot, gonna use it. That blob will come around in a second, but mages... Okay. The ranger didn't really have a lot of HP, so I wasn't too confident in doing that. It's okay. Right, back to barraging. This is a nice little trick here. Ooh, okay, I should be blood piping this. No problem though. But you can use this tile here to drag around and attack from afar. You can even come here for the bat safe spot. And we're gonna kill this guy now. I'm gonna try and get a bit closer as well. I'd like to drag this guy... Okay, that's the worst drag of all time. I wanted to drag this guy closer. And therefore I can get this chin off without losing ticks. Wow, that is a strong nibbler. My drag was really bad though, I got pulled back into him. It's unfortunate. Nice little off tick. I really wanted to position for that melee there. Didn't really have much of a choice in the timing, unfortunately. I am going to go and flick him though. I don't want him to dig. Couple of specs to get back in a good shape. Lost a tick, I think. No worries. Couple of ticks here and there you can't avoid, unfortunately. Unless you are mean. Okay, so if I kill this bat, that's gonna pull in everything. So we want to have a think here. I can still come out like this, because that bat is now blocking us. And once I kill the bat, I have to move across. Let's just be aware of that. If the melee digs, I can go behind the ranger. I should say when the melee digs. That's cancer. Yeah, that was not great. I actually same-ticked those guys. But this is why we have brews. Well, this is why I have brews, because I like to make mistakes. So just gonna sip up. Nice 3 doses. We're pretty late in the waves, so this will carry me forwards. And I have excess bastions, so no problem using some here as well. I'll take a sip of stem while we're at it as well. So definitely blood barraging these few waves coming up. So, I really want to drag him, but he's a bit too far away, so we're going to kill him instead. Probably should have moved down 1 tile instead of 2, not really a problem. There are ways to get this guy to come towards you, but it's awkward, and it involves a bit of RNG with the timing there. And I am not dealing with that. Goodbye, South Pillar. You will be missed. Gonna blow pipe if it's alive. It is not. We can do a little drag here to get across. Hopefully don't kill it. Eh. Unlucky. Any hitters? Okay. Praying for remaining blobs. Good. Pillars are fine. That's barrage for HP. North is going to be easy to defend here. Mage is gonna die before the melee digs, so we're good. I can always come around here. When he does dig, I'm gonna cross to the ranger, sorry, like this, and corner trap him. Timing not great in doing so, but Spec is there to cover for me. And of course I'm gonna go kill the blob first, because blob die first is good. Right, let's see what we got. Let's dodge around, let's drill everything in. The question here is my pillar, like, worth trying to save? There's only one nibble on it. If there were two, I'd probably dodge around, but I don't really want to kill this bat. Now I'm considering it. Let's see how the bow hit is. Not good enough in my opinion. I dodged around a little bit earlier to get a little bit better timing on this attack here. Okay. Pillar took a little bit more damage than I would have liked, but we are nearing the end wave, so it's not the end of the world. Stepping in for the blob hit. Stepping back so I can shin literally everything. Actually, that ranger didn't... That's kind of annoying. Please hit. Holy moly, okay. I should have, I don't actually know why. I guess the bat blocked the melee from moving in? I'm not too sure. Ooh, that was kind of close. I would have liked it to be the melee in the middle that I was chinning. We're fine though. If I time this... Okay, that blob is actually off tick with me, so I wanted to get around that corner as soon as humanly possible. If I had to ticky, I would be ticky-thing, but yeah, that was kind of an awkward one to be in. So, we lost a bit of time, definitely talking didn't help too much, but also not playing amazingly. And now we're on to, is it like melees? Definitely barraging. Yeah, melees. Pillar's fine, but give myself some peace of mind, we're gonna go slap that in a bit early. Make my way around here. Good. Stop this guy from digging. And now all I gotta do to survive this wave is... don't get double hit by a ranger. Oh, hey, look at that. Lovely. So pillar is maintained. We are kind of alive. And the time is like, not terrible. Not an amazing pace, it's not terrible. Last blowpipe's back on the waves, hits like a truck, nice. And now we want to use the pillar on the next wave to try and damage the major. So we're not going to start with anything other than a T-bow hit. Okay, well, we're not getting anything out of this, so that means I can barrage this for HP. Question is, will that kill the pillar? Probably, if I leave it long enough. We'll see. Yeah, that'll kill the pillar. Let's test the HPs. Yeah, definitely blowpipe range. Please don't respawn anything. Please. I hate this game. Probably the only thing you can't really control. Please don't do it. Oh, please don't do it! I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. Okay. Having fun. Having fun in the video game. It's a small time loss. If both of them respawn, yeah, it's less fun. And now it's RNG take the wheel. We're starting back here so we can run up to Jad. Like so. And this gives us a bit of time to just time our hits nicely before they actually start healing Jad. Kind of an awful Jad. Kind of a really awful Jad. Yep, this is pain. Yep, okay, yep. We're just having fun in the video game. I gave that a second there to make sure the chin would hit both of them. Very well worth doing. The kind of thing where you lose a tick to save 2 ticks or 3 ticks sometimes. And yeah, you can even blow up Jads. Generally worth it if they're really, really, really low. Used one full brew on the waves, so we got a whole 4 brews for Zuck, which is really nice as well. We like to tag the back ones further away first during the travel time. And that means they don't get to you as fast, because they're obviously stacked up. Probably should have divined a bit earlier. Free head. With regards to going to blowpipe that guy instead of T-bow from afar from the healers, you can get back HP, but you sure as hell can't get back time. I say as I don't go and tag healers. Oh, I hit something nice. I even healed a 1 or something. Seems good. So we're going to get double blowpipe on the Ranger, so this isn't too big a problem. Start with Rigger, minute and a half. It's not going to be sub 50, but it'll be a nice 51, 52 minute. Okay, so it's Ranger spawn. This is actually my least preferred method of doing sets, is from this side. Because I'm a notorious non-set flicker, I just don't like doing it. And that means I'm kind of at the mercy of whether the Ranger decides to die or not. But with 2 blowpipe specs on task, Rigger, range bot, it's kind of hard for it to not die, it's just... I've had it happen once or twice. It's not fun. That is unfortunately just a risk that I personally take, though. Don't recommend it. You can do a chin hit here or a long range blowpipe hit here to get on time. I'm just going to lose the 1 or 2 ticks that I have here. I'd rather have... Oh, yeah, this is worst case scenario. I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. I absolutely hate this. I'm just gonna hit Zuck. That's how much I hate this. So you can do this and your shield will be fine. Your shield has a lot of HP. It's just slightly nerve-wracking. We're going to pull this Major across. Like that. Because if we do that during a Mage Shad skip, what's going to happen is I might pull him on the wrong tick and re-tick him with Jad, like on the same tick. I can drop my stam dose now. You can do it anytime during the fight, really, but I like to do it now. Gonna get my HP up a little bit. Use the last dose here. Want to proc Jad? Let's get the timing. Good. And now we're set. I'm probably going to shut up and click the boss because I can't concentrate. Nice hits. Can we proc healers? Please proc healers. Yep, that's about the furthest you can go, but I'm happy with that. Need to be restoring better. Ow. Any deaders? I'll take it. Bit of a rough healer skip, but the time actually does count with regards to speedrunning, so... Yeah, bit painful, and... I don't know, as of late my healer skips haven't been particularly good. That's about as rough as it gets, though, generally, like a 3.5 brew. One thing you can do to offset that, which I don't currently do, is to bring another range pot, so you can pot more frequently and a bit more brew range pot action, but yeah. The time counts, that's all that matters. Bit lucky, but... Well, bit unlucky, bit lucky, depends how you look at it. The overall run, hopefully I got some good tips in there for some of the waves. And if nothing else, kind of guided my thought process as best I can sort of explain it anyway. It's kind of, you don't really think about it too much when you really do the run. It's more that I'm, how do I explain it? I'm more sort of relaying it after I sort of do it, or at least think about it. It's not so much you do that in the actual run, you sort of just automatically solve waves and then have a think about where best to use your chins. That's about it, really. But regardless, sub 52, well, sub 53, a not terrible time, but hopefully, if nothing else, an example of like what it's like to use chins and save the ticks here and there and do all the fun skips and stuff. So I might break this one down into a sub 55 example. I've got a couple of other really interesting clips and save spots and stuff so you can do. So I'll probably just merge them all together to make another 20-minute cut-up vid. And this will be probably part 1 of that, I guess. So we can do another part 1, part 2 for a sub 55. Yeah, that's all, guys. Hopefully, again, something new, something interesting. But yeah, see you in the next one. Bye.